Well, inside the wonderful Cricket Victoria room here, it's all about Harmony Day, and from Cricket Victoria, Annie's come to join us. Tell us about Harmony Day. Why is it so important, and who's involved?
Yes, well, Harmony in Cricket is Cricket Victoria's program that celebrates that cricket's a game for everyone, regardless of cultural background, religion, gender, age or ability. So Cricket Victoria are celebrating that cricket's a game for everyone.
And how did you get involved? What's your role in Harmony in Cricket program?
So my role is the Community Programs Manager, so I look after the portfolios of Indigenous, multicultural and disability cricket, and we work with a lot of different communities about introducing them to the game of cricket and hoping that they'll develop a passion for the game like we do.
And what's your background, Annie?
I'm Papua New Guinean. My father's Australian and my mum's Papua New Guinean.
So you're not only passionate about cricket, but you're passionate about the cause as well, and all-encompassing, all-embracing.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's so exciting today because we've got so many people here who are actually celebrating their culture and their diversity as well, and it's great to see so many people here at the MCG from Sri Lankan backgrounds supporting the Sri Lankan team as well.
We've seen lots of adults, but we've also seen a lot of kids. How important is it to get the kids involved?
Yeah, I mean, Cricket Australia are very passionate about getting 5 to 12-year-olds engaged in cricket from a young age, and that's something that Cricket Victoria follows through with, and we work very hard to make sure every kid gets an opportunity to play.
And it's almost more important than just cricket, isn't it? I mean, there's friendships and just community benefits as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the people here today, some of them come from very difficult backgrounds. We've worked with refugees who have come from war-torn countries, and they've turned up in Australia and they're assimilating into our way of life, and part of that is enjoying cricket and summer and all the things that we know about being Australian.
Cricket is a passion, it's almost a religion, but it also shows that it's just a game, isn't it? Just a small part in how important the world is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're going to see 70 kids, Aussies of Sri Lankan heritage, run out onto the MCG, and every kid who loves cricket wants to play for Australia, wants to play on the MCG, and those kids are just going to go out and have a great time playing cricket today.
Speaking of Sri Lankan heritage, there are so many Sri Lankans here at the ground. It's fantastic. The noise is amazing.
Yeah, they've got the drums and the flags. It's really wonderful to be a part of it. It's very entertaining, aside from the cricket itself. And, we've got partners in Lanka Unites Australia who are here today, and they've helped put on this event. And they've got, Sri Lankan kids who are participating in cricket, but they've also made a contribution in the dining room here today.
How important is it to have those Sri Lankan connections so intrinsically developed in the Harmony in Cricket program?
Well, for us, we work with so many diverse communities, and we're not experts in cultural heritage, and so we like to connect with people who do know their culture, and particularly working with so many Sri Lankans in Melbourne, we have Sri Lankan staff working for us and a lot of people from the community volunteering to make cricket the great game that we all love.
Prashanda, this has been good enough to join us on CATV. Harmony in Cricket, it's a very important program. How did you become involved?
We were honoured to be part of this program. I lead Lanka Unites in Sri Lanka. After 30 years of war, we have doing efforts to bring the community together, and now we also have the diaspora community, even here in Australia, the Sri Lankans are pretty strong here, have come together and are part of this program now.
How important is cricket in the lives of everyday Sri Lankans?
It's very important. It brings us together. It always has, and it continues to bring us together. And so it's an important part of the reconciliation process. It's for policy, for social life, for everything. And so we're excited about cricket.
Speaking of social life, there's plenty of social lives going on out the MCG today. The community's come out unbelievably today in support of the cricket side.
Yeah, especially coming back from Sri Lanka, looking at things here. They've brought part of the culture over here, and they celebrated. The drums are here, the dancing, the same songs. It's like being in Sri Lanka but away from it. It's interesting.
How important is it to get the young kids involved from a Sri Lankan point of view?
If we are to have true reconciliation in the country and really make sure that we learn from the mistakes of the past that led to war, the young children have to be part of the process. And sports really does an amazing job in doing that. And that's why it's more than a sport for us. It's sacred for us, and we're so glad to be part of it.
It is more than a sport. It's almost a religion, and yet it's unbelievable how passionate all these guys are about it, regardless of the background they've come from. Is that something that you take to the kids in the villages to say that you can be as one?
Exactly, because sometimes these kids have never met each other from different ethnic groups. Like today, the kids who are playing on the ground are from all ethnic groups playing together. So what we do is we go to rural areas, and the only common thing they'll have is the sport. Even the language will be different, the religion will be different, but the sport brings them together, and then they are willing to explore the other aspects of who that person is and celebrate the diversity.
How important are the cricket heroes in Sri Lanka? We know we've got some big names in the side, but how important are they for your program?
Well, they're role models, and I think they know that. It's not a pressure. I think they see it as a privilege, and they do an amazing job of having rhetoric that brings the communities together. They don't exclude anybody. They really try to be inclusive, and they play a very vital role in inspiring the next generation.
From 1 or 2 kids in a field in Sri Lanka, you're all of a sudden at the middle of the MCG. What's been your overriding feeling or sensation since you've arrived?
Well, it's just been, first of all, absolutely honored, a little overwhelmed, but at the same time knowing that little humble beginnings can make a difference. And normal civil society can do something. Gandhi said, be the change you want to see. And when young kids, even 10 years old, when they want to be the change, they can transform a country.